Hello, everyone. I hope you are doing well. Welcome to 1111 True Crime. I'm Maddie. We're going to be talking about the case of Idaho Four today. A lot going on in that case. I can't even make it up. We've got 3 mixed DNA samples or evidence underneath Maddie's fingernails. DM is not now, but it's coming out now, that she claimed to be within 3 feet of the intruder. And this whole bushy eye thing, she's got pictures all over her room of eyes, and many of them have bushy eyebrows, and that's a focus for her, including some she drew herself and put on a corkboard. Then, I don't know if this is true or not, so I'm coming to you, but I heard Nancy Grace. Now, I'm just going to ask you where she got this from, because I had not seen this in the case, and I may have missed something big, because I've been working on other cases. A little 2-year-old missing from Oregon, and his name is Dane Paulson. So, anyway, I'm like scrolling through one night on YouTube, and I'm busy doing my stuff, and I'm hearing Nancy say that DM claimed that the intruder had a handheld vacuum. What? Let me know in the comments of the live, and if you are replay crew, thank you so much. And then let me know in the comments down below, what in the world is that in the paperwork somewhere? Because I'm not going to dig for it. Hi, Rachel, Zoe, Jennifer, Swain, Debbie Gazzardo, thank you for modding. Hi, Joey, Ocean Deep. That is it? It's in there? Somebody give me an update. Hey, Claire Davis, Noel, Day in the Life of Penny. Good to see you all. Hi, Gail Cashin. So this is alarming to me in so many ways. We already have so many people that are suspicious of DM. And that she could have been part of this perhaps. And then to hear this whole that she's within 3 feet and this is somebody that left her alive is shocking. Okay, let me give you an idea of what our poll is for today. We have a poll. How do you feel the intruder left the home, or intruders left the home? If you choose A, it's front door left it wide open, which we do know the front door was wide open. If you choose B, then you're choosing the kitchen slider, which was partially open. And then if you choose C, you're choosing Vic's bedroom window, 3rd floor slider. A lot of people do feel that. And then if you choose D, you believe they never left, they just went to bed. And I'm not going to read you the votes yet till I see us reach about 100 votes. But I will tell you, it's shocking at the answers that are popping out, like the majority. So get your vote in. If you're lagging, just pop out and come back in. You wouldn't go out the front door, would you? Asked Ocean Deep. Joey says, Dylan is guilty, lock her up, in my opinion. Well, nobody's guilty until proven in a court of law. I have to say that for a disclaimer. Hey, Zozo. Claire says, yes, mine was lagging, Maggie, but had to leave and come back in. Yeah. I don't know why, but on my lives, we get that. I want you to listen closely to this from News Nation. It's Brian Hinton. Now, according to what I'm hearing, the defense is saying that they have had the 3 mixed DNA tested that was under Maddie's fingernails, and it does not match Kohlberger. Wouldn't you know it, the prosecution says, well, we tested it, and it's inconclusive, we can't tell. How convenient, right? Glowy says Dylan stayed off Of course, all other people left out the front door, in my opinion. He's Sharon ASP says, I believe it was a beanbag powwow. Remember beanbag? Okay. That was a little much for me, and I can't name groups specifically, so Backwood Beats Outlaw Rhythms. Hello, hello. There's something eerie about the way the timeline unfolds, like pieces intentionally left out, gaps that feel too wide to be accidental. I agree with all of that. Isabel just is Rankin. Long time no see. Got to realize Bethany and Billin, that's what happens sometimes, only lived for, you say 12 weeks? Was it that long? At 11/11/22? Yeah, I now call them Bethany and Billin. Sorry. Dreamcatcher, the prosecution are clinging on by their fingertips, their fingernails. I think their case has fallen apart. Then Detta Shepherd, yes, she said it. It was the big bag, like, okay, whoa. This is what, because, I mean, she had to have said it, right? This is just crazy to me. Vanetta Shepherd said, yes, she said it was like a bag, like Dr. Refford Sabina's reading. It was a kit, gloves, knife, etc., the bag that carried the items. She said handheld vacuum. That's what Nancy Grace said, handheld vacuum. That was her words. It was weird. Oh, yeah, I still 1,000% believe it's the X. Dreamcatcher Mama D, what's your thoughts on Jack D still, and maybe two others still about the phone plan? I'm on where I was. Doesn't mean I'm right, but I'm always open. I'm always open to somebody be like, hey, this points you in a different direction. But let me tell you, now if Dylan if she's being honest, and that individual was 3 feet from her face, that's not even as wide as your door frame, a standard door frame. You are eye to eye. And you're going to tell me that that attacker that just took out 4 is not going to strike out at arm's length away unless they know her? And then this whole 8 hours delay, it's like she knew them. We have a latent shoe print, for golly's sake, that got cleaned up. What, was that the vacuum? Is that what Kohlberger did? He came in there and in 13 minutes he used his handheld vacuum? Please spare me. The more I learn about the Idaho Four case, the more it points to somebody very familiar to these girls, the roommates. Just my humble opinion. Vanetta Shepherd, yep, the boys had one in a fire outfit. I think his name was Matt. Ocean Deep says so many hours before it was reported. You could clean the carpet in the whole house in that time. Can you imagine 8 hours on just cleaning your house? I haven't done that in years. I should try that one day, just as a test, how clean I could get my house if all I did was clean for 8 hours. Vanetta Shepherd, thank you so much for joining us today. Dreamcatcher says, and hi, lovely. Nancy Grace said handheld vacuum, but it wasn't a vacuum held in the hand. It could have been Ethan's golf club bag. Or maybe this girl didn't see anybody, huh? Nikki was really weird. She was an art student. Who? I missed something. Karen Bell says, hi, definitely JD in my opinion, and David, and 2 more. Maybe Dylan is involved in my opinion. She knew it all time. Joey believes that DM, her boyfriend was involved. Audrey says eye to eye and leaves living witnesses? Hell no. Let's check this out. All right, this is going to be, let me get it on the board for you. I hope I recorded it loud enough. That's always the issue. Anyway, let's talk about this a little bit. So it's mixed 3 DNAs under her nails. Could be her own DNA. It could be Kaylee's DNA. But who's the third, right? No matter what, who's the third DNA? And if it isn't her own, or if it isn't Kaylee's, that's another unknown in the mix. And if it's not either of the girls, that's 3 unknowns under her nails. Under the victim's nails, one of the victim's nails. I think that's a big, big deal. I really do. And I'm not alone on that. Let's go ahead and give this a listen to.
First start, what I think is the biggest development, the DNA from 3 individuals under victim Maddie Mogan's fingernails. How big of a deal is this, Edwina?
I think this is a huge deal, huge. I think probably one of the most important things that we can take from the filings is that it was inconclusive, and then there was further testing that excluded Koberger. And I think that's one of the most important things.
Let's just stop right there. Further testing that excludes Koberger, the suspect. Let that ring out for you for just a minute. Good to see you, Vanetta. Hi, Social Glow. Right, Joyful. It was not BK under the nails. Hey, Nikki UK. Hi, Lace Story. Good to see you. Okay, so Jules of All Trade was saying, this is from Dreamcatcher. I think yesterday she was pulling Nancy Grace apart, I bet, and said about the golf bag theory. I'm wondering if that's why that golf club was considered evidence, Ethan's golf club, and then they also did not get back Ethan's golf clubs. Right, Nikki UK. That is so strange. So Nikki UK says, Dylan, Mama D, we was saying how strange she had eyes and eyebrows all over her room. That is wild. That is. All right, let's keep going on this a little bit. Again.
So, and it was interesting because at one point in the document it said that it was inconclusive, and then the defense said that they did further testing that excluded Koberger. What does that mean, the fact that first inconclusive, but then the defense is citing this independent testing? And then why wouldn't they want it kept in, Edwina, if it shows that it wasn't him? Why are they trying to get it thrown out ahead of trial?
So that's what I'm having a hard time with. Why would the defense want this DNA thrown out? Well, the only reason I can think of is because the prosecution is saying it was inconclusive in their experts' eyes, and so they could say it may be Koberger, and then it's a he said, she said, and rather than get into that, they're like, well, let's just get it out of court. What do you guys think? Because that's interesting that the defense wants the victim's fingernail DNA tossed.
I think that the defense argument there is that the inference.
Whoops. Hold on.
What does that mean, the fact that first inconclusive, but then the defense is citing this independent testing? And then why wouldn't they want it kept in, Edwina, if it shows that it wasn't him? Why are they trying to get it thrown out ahead of trial?
I think that the defense argument there is that the inference from what we can deduce from what this testimony was to the grand jury is that the state wants to infer that it was Koberger, despite the fact that it was inconclusive. So I think that the defense is wanting to insulate against any inference whatsoever that the source of that DNA is Koberger.
What do you think it means that that it's three individuals, according to this filing? Three individuals' DNA found under the fingernails. What could that possibly indicate?
Well, I mean, with DNA evidence, and especially how little is required to get a DNA profile these days, is that it could be, right, anyone. She could be the source of the DNA. It could be an additional two other unknown individuals. But what the standout is that it's through the state's testing, it's inconclusive with respect to Koberger, and through this independent testing, it ruled him out. So I'm not sure why the defense would want the DNA evidence thrown out if they have reliable expert testing that shows that excludes Koberger from that DNA profile.
Yeah, so if the initial testing is saying inconclusive and the state additional testing is saying that Koberger has been ruled out from the DNA under Maddie's fingernails, can they present both sides to the jury, or does the judge end up making a decision about which testing was more reliable? How does that work?
Well, theoretically, they can present both sides, right? The defense is absolutely entitled to put on whatever defense evidence that they have. However, depending on what this testing, this independent testing is and how reliable it is, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a state's motion trying to exclude that independent testing.
I wouldn't
It's
either.
been so frustrating, Edwina, for those of us following the case.
Because, the prosecution does not want anything that doesn't point to, Koberger, their suspect, the one that they've selected. And the problem with that is that's not how court's supposed to go. That's not how law's supposed to work. It's not supposed to win at all costs. When you start getting a prosecution that has this mindset of we're going to win at all costs, justice is absolutely gone. It's gone. It's out the window. What are you guys thinking? This is crazy to me that they would even consider throwing it out. Three individuals, rightly, that makes it exculpatory, that it's actually DNA. It's under the victim's thumbnail or fingernail. It's a lot to read backward beats, but thank you for sharing. Stuart Jones says, I think BF's statement will implicate DM. Is that why she is quiet? That is a good question. Dreamcatcher says, I think DM's statements are absolutely ridiculous. I can't believe they are being mentioned and holding water. And I can't believe that Brian is still being seen as suspect number one after all this new revelation. It's shocking. Is anybody else seeing the mockery of injustice, of justice, mockery of justice, in the fact that we've got unknown male, BLOOD, on the handrail and inside a glove at a quadruple homicide that isn't even having a weight in the case. It's like the God Almighty little insignificant tiny smudge of touch skin cell found under a button snap of the sheath that we don't even have the weapon to, nor do we know if that is the murder weapon sheath. It's all about that speck, and that's all Idaho is focused on. Not the fact that the victim has 3 unknown DNA samples from someone that her nails scraped. I don't even know where to go with that. Davy Jones, the fact that we are yeah, I got that. Chloe, in my opinion, Bethany might not have known that all 4 were going to be ended. Maybe she was lied to and she was kept alive because Dylan couldn't be the only living one. Dang. Yeah. That's a good question or theory. Robin Davis Ducksworth, good to see you. Dim was not in a frozen state. She went down to BF room after calling her and slept there, it says in the paperwork. Yeah. Davy believes the sheath could never be tied to the murders. Precious, hello to you. Moonflower Lisa, hi, my lovely. Good to see you. Robin Davis Duckworth goes on to say she did call the police. She did not call the police. She called Bethany. Went downstairs to sleep with her in her room. Davy Jones says the wounds were described as particularly gruesome. Indeed, indeed. Hey, Noel. Noelle says BF was always afraid to come back because she thought she would be arrested. Stephanie Lake says the DNA is inconclusive. Well, and that's according to the prosecution. Hey, Big Mikey, good to see you. 2 female and 1 male, not Brian. Yeah, it makes you wonder, doesn't it? They didn't say unknown male DNA underneath Kaylee's fingernails, did they? Backwood Beats, State 5 is, if we can't explain it, just toss the evidence bag and scream, it's him, till somebody believes it. Thank you. Chloe says roommates established a fake timeline, in my opinion. Well, they definitely have something going on for 8 hours. Stacy Martell said, anyone remember the 3 frat boys that were stopped by the cops around that time and also drink walking from the girl's house? I remember the 4 in the silhouette, for sure, that got caught on the body cam right at about 3:12 a.m. Ocean Deep says, so sus, them too, if they didn't hear any commotion. I wanted to bring up the whole 3 feet, right? You're 3 feet away from the attacker that just took out 4. 3 feet. And this individual doesn't do anything to you? Think that is interesting. Let's see how we're doing on the votes. Well, we're close to 100. We'll go ahead and see how our votes are going. So the question is, how do you feel the intruder left the home? If you choose A, its front door left it wide open. If you choose B, well, I read that part already. Let's just read the results for now. All right. So with our poll, we've got 7% the Vic's bedroom window, 3rd floor slider. 25% believe that the kitchen slider was partially open and was used. 30%, so this is a good poll, kind of shows where everybody's sitting. 30% felt that the perps left out the front door. That's why it was wide open. And then this is just freaky. 38% are saying they never left, they just went to bed. What? Time for the goat. That's wild. Hi, Adriana. You said this is disgusting, Mama D. This case is not normal. The information is so crucial. They don't want. Oh, chat's flying. They don't want this presented because they know that it will exonerate Brian. Why did it take so long? Like, don't you feel that this they're trying this state is trying to suppress things like the blood that's not tested? We just know it's unknown male DNA, so it's been tested, not identified, right? They're trying to just drop anything and everything that doesn't point to Koberger. It's so tunnel. It's tunnel vision. Pam Saunders said there was a tunnel under the house. This is wild to me. How could one individual pull this off that doesn't know the house and then decide to leave a survivor that's 3 feet away and the dog? Oh, and make sure and bring that bag along, to put your clothes in and tidy up when you're done. Make sure and get that bloody footprint out of there that could identify what shoe size you wear. On 13 minutes, Yeah, anybody else has got 8 hours. Makes more sense that whoever cleaned up the shoe print is definitely involved in something very nefarious. I think that's safe to say. Big Mikey says, and then we also have 3 unknown male DNA. Exactly. Davy Jones, as well as at least 1 Dutch case. I don't know what that means, but thank you for sharing. Davy Jones says, oh, okay, I'm following you now. Let me go back up. Reminds me of the McCann and the German Patsy case. Yeah. Where you knew it wasn't the one. Andrea Lawrence, I'm not familiar with this case, but DNA arguments, pretty sus to me. I mean, even if, no matter what, they should know who is underneath the fingernails of the victim. No matter what. No matter what. Now, here's a big question. Do any of the DNA under the fingernail, on the hallway and the going down to the... That's the other thing. There's blood on the railing, but it's going downstairs to Bethany's room. And that's where Dylan went. Bum, bum, bum. What? Night dream catcher, lovely. Prime candy to the family thinks something else happened. The family believe Koberger, the guy they have, is guilty no matter what. They've even helped to make up lies and spread lies about the guy, knowing that is full of crap that later got proved in court to be absolutely made up crap. They led people on to believe that Brian Koberger was stalking their daughter and all this crap. And then later in court, no, Brian wasn't stalking any of them. Koberger was not stalking any of the victims. Big Mikey, you get a gold star. Check this out. 3 unknown male DNA and 1 male DNA underneath the nail now equals 4. Is this the 4 scene running across the yard in the cop cam at 3:12 a.m.? Whoa! Big Mikey! That's crazy! Oh, wow. I don't know. Am I live? It says I'm live. I guess I got cut off. I don't know why. I'll refresh. I have no idea. How rude. Welcome back, everybody. Yeah, it ended. All right, I love you guys. In case this is, I don't know what's going on with YouTube right now. But thank you so much for doing the live with me. I will be back again very soon with you with another video, and we will dive much deeper. 39% they never left. They just went to bed. Wow. That's wild.